The good of a book lies in its being read. A book is made up of signs that speak of other signs, which in their turn speak of things. Without an eye to read them, a book contains signs that produce no concepts, therefore it is dumb. Religion has nothing to do with God. It's a fundamental attitude of human beings, who ask about the origins of life and what happens after death. For many, the answer is a personal God. In my opinion, it's religion that produces God, not the other way round. Dan Brown is a character from Foucault's Pendulum. I invented him. He shares my character's fascinations. The world conspiracy of Rosicrucians, Masons, and Jesuits. The role of the Knights Templar. The Hermetic secret. The principle that everything is connected. I suspect Dan Brown might not even exist. We invented the car, and it made it easier for us to crash and die. If I gave a car to my grandfather, he would die in 5 minutes, while I have grown up slowly to accept speed. The problem with the internet is that it gives you everything. Reliable material and crazy material. So the problem becomes, how do you discriminate? I have come to believe that the whole world is an enigma, a harmless enigma that is made terrible by our own mad attempt to interpret it as though it had an underlying truth. A book is a fragile creature. It suffers the wear of time. It fears rodents, the elements, and clumsy hands. So the librarian protects the books not only against mankind, but also against nature, and devotes his life to this war with the forces of oblivion. Semiotics is a general theory of all existing languages, all forms of communication, visual, tactile, and so on. There is general semiotics, which is a philosophical approach to this field, and then there are many specific semiotics. There is no great sport in having bullets flying about one in every direction, but I find they have less horror when among them than when in anticipation. How does a person feel when looking at the sky? He thinks that he doesn't have enough tongues to describe what he sees. Nevertheless, people have never stopping describing the sky, simply listing what they see. Musical compositions can be very sad. Chopin. But you have the pleasure of this sadness. The cheap consolation is, you will be happy. The higher consolation is the pleasure and recognition of your unhappiness, the pleasure of having recognized that fate, destiny, and life are such as they are, and so you reach a higher form of consciousness. The book is like the spoon, scissors, the hammer, the wheel. Once invented, it cannot be improved. You cannot make a spoon that is better than a spoon. The book has been thoroughly tested, and it's very hard to see how it could be improved on for its current purposes. Captain Cook discovered Australia looking for the terra incognita. Christopher Columbus thought he was finding India but discovered America. History is full of events that happened because of an imaginary tale. Perhaps the mission of those who love mankind is to make people laugh at the truth, to make truth laugh, because the only truth lies in learning to free ourselves from insane passion for the truth. Every European goes on the streets and sees medieval churches. Not if you live in Indianapolis. The most exciting letters I received were from people in places like that. Sometimes you say things with a smile with the precise intention of making it clear that you are not being serious and are only kidding. If I salute a friend with a smile and say, "How are you, you old scoundrel?" clearly I don't really mean he's a scoundrel. Conspiracies do exist. Probably in this moment in New York there is an economic group making a conspiracy in order to buy 3 banks. But if they succeed, they are immediately discovered. A transposable aphorism is a malaise of the urge to be witty, or in other words, a maxim that is untroubled by the fact that the opposite of what it says is equally true so long as it appears to be funny. The court jester had the right to say the most outrageous things to the king. Everything was permitted during Carnival, even the songs that the Roman legionnaires would sing, calling Julius Caesar Queen, alluding, in a very transparent way, to his real, or presumed, homosexual escapades. My maternal grandmother, she was a compulsive reader. She had only been through 5 grades of elementary school, but she was a member of the municipal library, and she brought home 2 or 3 books a week for me. They could be dime novels or Balzac. It is clear that when you write a story that takes place in the past, you try to show what really happened in those times. But you are always moved by the suspicion that you are also showing something about our contemporary world. Political satire is a serious thing. In democratic newspapers throughout the world, there are daily cartoons that often are not even funny, as is the case especially in many English-language newspapers. Instead, they contain a political message, and the artist takes full responsibility. We are never racist against somebody who is very far away. I don't know any racism against the Eskimos. To have a racist feeling, there must be another who is slightly different from us, but is living close to us. After years of practice, I can walk into a bookstore and understand its layout in a few seconds. I can glance at the spine of a book and make a good guess at its content from a number of signs. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.